All right, all right. Getting all my ducks in order here. All my ducks in a row. All right, cool. Looks like we got 3-4 people watching right now, so hopefully we'll have some folks join on. Cubing, what's up, man? Okay, cool, thanks. All right, I'm gonna try to read on this laptop again. Kind of worked out okay, and yeah, so Cubing, can you hear me? Awesome, cool. Yeah, Cubing, what's up, man? Looks like you're the only one, I think, on the stream. So, how's your day going? Alice, thanks for joining. Howdy. Okay, where to start? So I just kind of want these live streams to just kind of be like hanging out, chatting, all that good stuff. So, as people are joining, if you're gonna ask a question specifically for me, go ahead and chat all you want. That's cool. But as I was last time I was going through them, it was really hard to keep up with them. So if you have a specific question, just type the @ sign at Tyler Edwards, and then it should pop up in orange to me. That way I could kind of pick out the question really quickly instead of having to kind of scroll back up through all the questions. So yeah, cool. Audio's good. Awesome. So what have y'all been shooting? Have y'all been shooting anything, filming anything, any cool projects? I had a couple of projects. So 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago? Gosh, it's been a long week. A couple weeks ago, did an ad up in Columbia, South Carolina, with a local production company. So that was cool. Yeah, so we did. It was 1 scout day and 2 shoot days. So super fun. I got hired mostly just to do lighting, and then just kind of help on an ad hoc basis. So that was super fun. I love doing lighting and love being able to like focus on lighting. It's just a lot of fun being able to shape a scene. It just doesn't matter. We shot on the Canon C200, not mine. It was actually theirs, but yeah, we just shot it in 8-bit C-Log 3, and it was awesome. And yeah, it was cool. Let's see, Cubing, planning a trip to Japan, gonna take the Pocket 4K. That's awesome. Where in Japan are you going? Are you going for the Olympics? That'd be super awesome. I've always wanted to go to Japan. My wife and I, we've talked about it before, but haven't, it's just a lot to get out there. So, yeah, that's awesome. Japan would be super cool. Alice, working on a documentary for school. That's awesome. Doing some set lighting as well on student projects. That's awesome. Alice, what's your favorite light that you work with right now? I'm assuming you're at film school, maybe. But yeah, I'd love to hear your favorite light that you work with either currently or have worked with in the past. So let me know on that. So far, my favorite it's got to be between the SkyPanel S60 because awesome, and the Aperture 300D Mark II, also awesome. Super fun and super different tools, but yeah, the SkyPanel is just awesome. Everyone in the camera department in my school has converted from the C300 to the Pocket 4K. That's awesome. Yeah, the Pocket 4K is an awesome camera. It's the image is amazing. It's hard to beat. I like the C200 because of a couple things that the Pocket 4K doesn't have, namely the dual pixel autofocus, which is awesome for interviews, talking head interviews, being able to open up the aperture just a little bit wider. Built-in NDs are super awesome, and then dual XLRs, and the preamps are actually really good on the Pocket 4K. But yeah, I mean, I use Pocket 4K all the time as a B cam. So yeah, that's awesome. Pocket 4Ks are awesome. Let's see. Kevin Alex BRAW. What's up, Kevin? Thanks for joining, man. Cubing, I'm going to a few places over a 2-week period after the Olympics in late October. Oh, that's awesome. What are you going there for? You're just going just for vacation, or do you have like a specific project you're shooting? Let me know. Alice, I mostly use the Airy 650 watt tweener suite. Yeah, Airy lights are awesome. That's why you see them on pretty much every film set ever, because they're awesome. Tungsten primarily. Yeah, tungsten is super fun, and it's sad because like everything is so focused on daylight balance right now. You know, whether it's like HMIs or, you know, like this light is the 120D or the 300D Mark II. I mean, daylight is obviously super awesome and convenient, especially for a setup like this where it's obviously daytime outside, so you can kind of balance the camera to make it look, you know, normal, as it were. But tungsten lighting, something about it just looks so good. And if I remember correctly, I was watching somebody's like educational thing. I can't remember who it was. It might have been the C47, or I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that a lot of camera sensors are still more calibrated to tungsten lighting, so color accuracy and everything, I guess, is better with tungsten lighting. And it kind of makes sense because, you know, those Airy tungstens and stuff are basically like 100 CRI. So yeah, I want to get into more tungsten lighting. In fact, those new Relio cube lights, the Relio 2 lights, I'm really interested in getting my hands on those to experiment more with tungsten lighting. I just love the way that tungsten looks, especially on skin tones and stuff like that. Yeah, super awesome. Let's see here, cubing. I'm just going on vacation. I've been learning the language for a couple years and want to test myself. That's awesome, dude. I really wish. I mean, I took German in high school. I don't remember too much of it, unfortunately. And then I minored in Spanish in college, and then I majored in international business. And yeah, I've always loved like how the Japanese language sounds, and I really wish I kind of want to go back and learn another language. Maybe Japanese will be the next one. I love learning languages. It's just super fun to me. Anyways, Kevin, just want to say thanks for your videos. There are so many blind leading the blind channels out there. I really appreciate how you keep things real and humble. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I'm learning as I go. We're all on the journey of learning, and that's why I kind of make YouTube. It's like a perfect way to learn new techniques and all that stuff. Like these lighting videos that I've been doing, kind of these little scene recreations. I can't wait for the next one. It's going to be awesome. But those have just been such an awesome learning experience for me. And as I said, I think it was in the first one, the Walter Mitty one, I was just basically wanted to. I don't do that world very often, like the narrative like setup. It's more running gun, documentary, wedding style stuff, corporate interviews, where I don't really have much freedom to get super creative with lighting specifically. And so that's kind of why I've been doing these scenery creations and just finding new techniques, learning new techniques that are new to me and not new to the industry, obviously, or new to the art form, but just trying out different things and seeing how different things work. In fact, I got this, which is just a half grid, and I'm going to be making a little DIY 4x4 frame to get a 4x silk. So looking forward to making that video. Still waiting on all the parts to come in, but definitely gonna make a video on that. But yeah, like you said, I'm just there. You know, I'm just learning as I go, and I'm trying new techniques and finding ways to improve my skill. And you know that, I mean, if you don't do YouTube or thinking about getting into YouTube, just experiment with things and make a video out of it. And yeah, I mean, you learn you get better at everything: lighting, sound, camera movement, editing, sound design, all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate that, Kevin. That means a lot. Alice says, now there are quite a few people that only use LEDs, and I don't know how to handle hot lights. Yeah, no doubt. I've seen someone grab a tungsten with their bare hands, what I'm thinking, and it's probably the last time that they did that. It's a pretty cool mug too, isn't it? I find that the pocket is nicer on the tungsten, but also used softer lenses, so skin tones are creamy. You know, I've kind of found the same thing with the pocket. I found with the Pocket 4K especially, it really likes to make skin tones a little more brownish or something. I can't quite put my finger on it, but yeah, tungsten lighting does seem to help out with it a little bit. Sorry, that's my dog. You can probably hear her barking, so sorry about that. Such is life. Cool. Tyler Vincent, what's up, dude? Who is Tyler Vincent? I'm totally kidding, everybody. Tyler Vincent. Thank you for joining, my bro. He is the other Tyler in all my other videos. You should have just come over here. We could have just like tag team this live stream. Yeah, Tyler. If you don't know or have heard of Tyler Vincent, he is a super talented filmmaker, and yeah, he's like, I learned so much from him, and he lets me like tag along sometimes with his shoots, like if I don't have anything going on or something, he lets me tag along, and it's cool because their work has pretty cool equipment, and it's fun to work on that and stuff. Adam Erickson, sup, my dude? Are y'all like just at work and that'd be epic. Yeah, but work sucks. Well, that's true. Sometimes work does suck. That's why but you gotta get on YouTube and continue it. Anyways, back to Tyler. Yeah, go check out his YouTube channel. He is really good. He's like a super talented filmmaker, and he's got a lot of content like planned. I'm not sure how much of it he's filmed, but he and I have been talking back and forth about a couple ideas. So yeah, I'm excited to help collaborate with him on a couple of things. But yeah, super talented. Adam, also very talented filmmaker. Adam, do you do YouTube? Do you do YouTube? You should let me know. Let me know in the comments. Adam is a hysterical little character, and he's super fun to hang out with on set because he makes funny jokes. And he's also talented. He's a talented filmmaker. Oh my gosh, look at me. Okay. Cubing, I need to meet more filmmakers in Charleston. Yeah, it's weird. There's like a lot of filmmakers in Charleston, but they're like hidden in the weeds, and you really got to search out for them. So I don't even know how to like start it, but it'd be cool to do some kind of like filmmakers meetup or something in Charleston. I don't want to do like a photography walk thing because that would just be kind of weird. I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it, but some kind of a filmmaker meetup or something would be pretty cool. Yeah, so good call, Cubing. Maybe we can try to find a way to connect with some other filmmakers in town. Kevin says, I'm a photographer of 30 plus years getting back into making movies, and the lighting is painful. I've been lighting stills with decades of experience, now just pulling my hair out with the moving pictures. And don't get me started on sound. Kevin, I hear you. I was on an ad working on an ad campaign last year for a tourism thing, and it was a kind of a 2-for-1 kind of thing. There was a photography and then videography at the same time. So either the filmmaking team or the photographer would do their thing first, and then the filmmaking team, So, but the photographer was all they were used to using strobes, and fantastic. They get fantastic results with strobes, but no real experience with continuous lighting and bouncing light and reflecting light and all that kind of stuff. And so to make basically to make it more streamlined and quicker, we kind of took on the task of lighting every scene. That way, we didn't have to change anything except for moving the cameras in place and kind of getting the talent to move for the movie part of it. But that is something that the photographer really really thanked us for. Was he wasn't used to using continuous lighting all that much and bouncing light, and he was really appreciative and learned a lot from it. But had they been more difficult wanting to use strobes, it definitely would have been a lot more challenging to get the job done. But it was cool to kind of see that. So all that being said, Kevin, like, I hear you. Like, I'm sure you're probably used to using strobes and stuff like that, but definitely experiment with continuous lighting, obviously. And not only that, just experiment with even if you don't have big continuous lights like LED lights or single points, single source lights or anything like that. Start experimenting with a window and using like a bounce board or something like that. One of my earlier videos, was that the last video? It's been a long week. One of my last videos, I made a custom, a DIY bounce board from Lowe's, and it was like $20, $30 total or something like that. And that's a great way of kind of experimenting with lighting. So yeah, I mean, you still do, you photograph food or whatever you photograph beforehand, but start experimenting with continuous light. And I prefer it because, when I was into photography more, I just did strobes, and I don't know, it felt kind of cool, like, having strobes, but like I got rid of them like pretty quickly and completely into continuous lighting. And sound, yeah, hear you on that one too. Sound is there's a lot of moving parts, no pun intended, to making videos. So for sure, yeah, hit me up if you have questions. I think I don't know how easy it is with, I don't even know if there's private messages on YouTube anymore, but if you're on Instagram, definitely find me on Instagram and DM me if you have any questions about audio or anything like that. Okay. Adam says, I should start, assuming a YouTube channel. Tyler Edwards just became one of my favorite people. Thanks, Adam. Tyler, what did you think of the Oscars? I didn't watch them because quite frankly, they just kind of annoy me. Seems like they all just become like a political thing. So I just assume I won't watch them. I heard some funny remarks, like with Joaquin Phoenix. He said something about like cows or something. I don't know, but that's why I don't watch them, because I just think they're like, I don't know. I like the movies that I like. I don't really care if they win awards or not. So let's see. Onto any more custom closets. So this is from a while ago. You've watched one of my videos from a long time ago. Any more custom closets? That is referring probably to my DIY custom closet video that I think is done like pretty well. I mean, I think it has like 50 or 60,000 views or something like that. Don't know, but I had fun making it. I've made a bunch of custom closets since. I did a brief stint of contracting for a general contractor. I just subbed for him and did some of those custom closets. I did, even at that same house, a couple more in my brother's house, and I did one in my house, and a couple more for clients. But since then, I haven't really done that too much, just because I just haven't had the time. I love doing it. I love picking up the hammer and nail. I made a really cool like sliding barn door in my kitchen, but I did it in the summertime, and it was no joke, like 110 degrees in my garage while I was doing it. In fact, like, I had to bring the door inside to let the paint dry because it got so tacky because of the humidity, and I just couldn't do a video on it because it was that frustrating. But big door, maybe I'll try to mention it in my next video. But it was super cool. Everything's custom. The door's giant and heavy, and really cool. There's this hotel. I don't know if it's still called it, but it's from the Vindu Inn. A buddy of mine's, he worked for a company that did renovations on it, and I guess there was a section or something that he pulled out one of the original beams from that hotel, and he gave it to me years ago because he said that, you know, he knew I was into woodworking and all that kind of stuff. So finally, after literally 5 years of having it, I finally was able to find a use for it, and it looks awesome. Super rustic looking, but kind of craftsman style door. I really like it. It looks awesome. It was an awesome video. Thank you, Honda. Let's see. I find that lighting 360 like Lauren Shercom seems to be good transition place for the photographers coming back for film in my program. Nice. Queuing. I have some studying to do, so I'll be listening now, but now asking questions. I'll be listening, but now not asking questions. Okay, cool. Awesome. Cool, Kiwi. Appreciate it. Tyler Vincent, would you consider making a video on how you made those handy LUTs? Tyler, that's some pretty super secretive stuff. I'm not gonna reveal my secret. Of course, yeah, I'll make it. I made one a long time ago, like setting up a custom LUT for like my studio or something. The same principle, but now DaVinci Resolve being updated with making 33.65 cubes. Which are like the file extensions. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but this is to other people that may not know what a cube file is. Those are like what the extension for LUTs are. And yeah, that'd be awesome. That's a great idea. Maybe we should make some. I'm actually working on some, kind of refining my LUTs for the for Canon Log 1. That's, for the C200 and then the upcoming 1DX. I never really used the Canon Log 1 all that much on my C200 just because C-Log 3 is there and it's way better and I like it. So I originally had it because I was using the 5D Mark IV and the C200 together, and I just didn't really like how the Canon Log out of the 5D4 looked. So I ended up just kind of like scrapping that project for creating Canon Log 1 LUTs. But now with the 1D coming out, hopefully, according to my guy at Adorama, I should be receiving mine a week from today, if all goes to plan. So that's kind of why I've kind of revisited some of those LUTs. So maybe we'll talk about that for the 1DX. That'd be kind of cool. Griffin, what's up, man? Hey, I appreciate you stopping by. Griffin has, he's like another talented filmmaker. He's out in Orange County, I think. I think that's where you're from, Griffin. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but from Orange County, California, and he shoots on C200. Well, he shoots on all kinds of stuff, but I found him through a YouTube. He had a Canon C200 review, and then just recently a C500 review where he actually had an Alexa, I think an Alexa Mini or an Amira, I can't remember. I'm not cool enough. I'm not rich enough to know about Aries all that much. But I think it was an Alexa Mini that they had rented for a project, and he swapped it for a C500, and it was a super cool. Perspective that he had. Number one, coming from the C200. Number two, having shot on Aries and stuff like that. Anyway, so go check it out. Griffin Conway's video. I think right now, if you search like Canon C500 Mark II review or something, that'll probably pop up, because at least it does for me. But yeah, he's super talented, and his delivery is super relaxed and chill, and it's like you could totally hang out and have a beer with the guy, or hot tea if he's not into beer or something. So yeah, if I'm ever over that way, Griffin, I'd love to connect. You're a really cool dude. Adam says those LUTs are life with a Y. Thanks, man. I really like my my C200 LUTs. I probably could have sold a lot more if I promoted them a lot more, and maybe I should, because I need more money. So go buy my LUTs, everybody. But I'm more excited. I'm actually more pleased with, or more thrilled with my Canon Log 3 LUTs than I am with my RAW LUTs. The RAW LUTs are great. I love them, and I'm actually got a few more RAW LUTs that I need to actually add to the collection. But the Canon Log 3 LUTs, they're just so easy to use, and you know, any kind of like that magenta issue that you kind of can run into with the C200, like my LUT just kind of fixes that, and I use it for everything. I mean, anytime I'm doing an interview or anything, I'll always shoot in Canon Log 3 no matter what. Even if it's low light, if it's at weddings, it doesn't matter. Like, these LUTs are perfect. Like, they're just great. You apply them and you're good to go, and they're awesome monitoring LUTs. So you can't load them onto the camera, obviously. I guess you can for the C500 Mark II. And I should connect with some people in the C500 and see if they have any Canon Log 3 footage they'd be willing to share. Griffin, if you have any Canon Log 3 footage you'd be willing to share, I'll send over my LUTs to you or whatever to see how they look on there. But yeah, I mean, they just look great. And for, what was I talking about? Monitoring. So if you load them on, like I use a small HD monitor to monitor with the C200 just because the other monitor is so small. I load the Crush LUT on there, which is one of the C-Log 3 LUTs that I have, and it just looks awesome. And it's a great way to kind of like protect your shadows a little bit. So when you throw on false color, I kind of toggle the look on and off. You can kind of see what's going on with the false color when you apply the LUT, so you can know exactly what to expect when you drop it on the timeline. So Griffin says, that's right. If you make it out to Cali, let's grab a beer and shoot some stuff. Appreciate the kind words, bro. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Cool. I would love to. That'd be awesome. Hopefully Charleston gets a direct flight somewhere out to California, because right now we got to go through Atlanta, which is the worst place on earth for traveling airport style. Anyways, RJ's Lifey. Have you shot with the Pocket 4K in overcast weather before? I may be documenting 12 hikers hike the Great Western Loop Trail, 7,000 miles. Whoa. We'll be following them around in an RV. I know it's got those vents by the lens mount, and I'm worried about rough conditions and all. Never done anything big this for. Yeah, I mean, I've shot in overcast weather. I have a kind of a travel video, what was it called, like Cinematic London or something like that. It was like super, keyword clickbaity to get people to watch it. But most of that was overcast, and it was kind of lightly drizzling, but anytime it started raining a little harder, I had the same concerns as you did, and I put it away, put it in the bag, and got out of Dodge. Which is one reason why I have actually pre-ordered the 1DX Mark III, just because it is weather sealed and you could like stand under a waterfall with that thing. I mean, that might be an over-exaggeration. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely a concern that I had. So I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Some people, I don't know. It is one of those cameras where it's only $1,300. So if you have budget, maybe get one or two more just in case. I mean, I would never go out on a project with just one camera anyways. But that being said, like I've had the C200 out in some pretty rough-ish conditions, like weddings and stuff like that, and I've never had a problem, and it's got an open vent and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I wouldn't want to recommend you taking the Pocket 4K out in like the pouring rain or something like that, or like a super dusty environment, and then it get ruined. Yeah, sorry. Griffin, I'm posting a vid tomorrow, and I'll include a few raw clips for download so everyone can check them out. Awesome, man. Looking forward to that video. Is this the one where you're going to kind of give a more of a comparison of the C200 to the C500? I'm super interested in that. Kevin at Atlas. Okay, so LUTs. Is the process to get a base color grade then apply a LUT? Is that the usual practice? It just depends on the LUT that you're using and the camera that you're using and all that kind of stuff. If you're using a LUT on, say, like a baked in color, like, you know, say you're using like the Sony A7 III or the Canon EOS R, and you're using like a standard picture profile, there are LUTs that are creative LUTs usually that are applied on the Rec 709 look. So theoretically, if you brought your log footage to a Rec 709 color space and Rec 709, all that kind of contrast and stuff, and then applied one of those creative LUTs, you could do that. The LUTs that I created for the C200 for the C200 RAW, which I'm almost positive they're going to work on the C500 Mark II RAW as well. Griffin, I'll tag up with you after this and send you over those LUTs to see if they look good. And for the Canon Log 3 as well, those are more technical LUTs, so they're basically Rec 709 transform LUTs. So it's kind of weird because the Canon Log 3 is technically already in the Rec 709 color space, but what my LUTs do, they're designed to apply basically first and then do any grading after that. That's why I don't really have any creative LUTs out there at the moment, just because the way I use it is less end result and more as a starting base point. In fact, one of my LUTs is called base because like I started off as a base LUT and then do any future color grading from there. And the idea is that my LUTs are pretty much non-destructive in the sense that it's not going to throw out exposure like crazy or anything. It doesn't fix, like if you missed your white balance or exposure in camera, it's not going to fix that. But if you're using the LUTs as I intended it, with, you know, exposure, white balance, all the stuff that you're supposed to get right in camera to begin with, my LUTs are designed basically to kind of take that log footage and transform it into a, you know, just a ready to go Rec 709 look. So it's not looky or too contrasty or anything like that. In fact, my standard, like my Canon Log 3 to Rec 709, that the standard one and the boost one, it doesn't even drop the shadows enough for a final look, because my intention with that one was to kind of give you more freedom to color grade after that. So Kevin, I hope that answers your question. Honda mommy, man, I'm so bad at pronouncing. Gotta go. Stay awesome, Tyler. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. QB, okay, let's see. Yep, that's the one. Griffin says deep dive into the C200 versus C500 for image quality and ergonomics use. Okay, awesome. Okay, RJ's Live says, I was wondering if you survived some rain at all without any problems. Bought a lot of add-ons this camera. I've got my whole rig set up pretty bulky and heavy, which I like. To make more stable shots, I don't think I have an extra hand to hold an umbrella, and I was thinking I'd probably just use some sort of bag around it. Just wanted to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I've been out in like I haven't been out in like the spitting rain with it or anything. In fact, when we're over in the Lake District, we were doing one hike, and Hurricane Dorian actually followed us from the East Coast all the way to the Lake District across the pond, and we met it on the top of a mountain-ish, a fell, that's what they call it. And yeah, I didn't even bring the pocket camera with me. I had my 5D with me, and that's it. So yeah, I would be more cautious with the pocket camera in adverse conditions, just because you never know. They are pretty finicky cameras. Probably why they're so affordable. So if you have budget, I would recommend maybe picking up at least one or maybe two more bodies. Not ideal, but at least you have backups on the road. I mean, like I would never go on a job with just one camera, especially for my production. So cool. Let's see. Cubing, there is $80 case. I saw that you can use the camera and make it as waterproof as it can be, but can't use any add-ons. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, there are solutions out there to make it actually waterproof, you know, but I don't think that would add a lot of bulk and probably unnecessary to do it that way. But yeah, you could probably get one of those bags or something like that to really help with weather. Sorry, I know it's not the right. I mean, it's not the best answer probably, or not what you're looking for. But I personally wouldn't bring those out in really nasty conditions. Clint says, do you color grade all of your footage, or do you mostly use LUTs? Yeah, I mean, well, I guess that's a yes to both answers. So the yes to both questions. So essentially, Clint, what I use on my on my C200, I use my LUTs as like a base, a starting point. So yes, I do use a LUT, but then once I've applied that LUT, I do any other further color grading to get whatever look I'm trying to go for. Usually most of the stuff that I shoot and edit and color and all the stuff for myself ends up looking pretty natural. I don't go for super looky footage. I'm not like super into like orange and teal like crazy. So yeah, but on the Pocket 4K, I use the Buttery LUTs, Mateo's Buttery Natural Rec 709. And again, it's the same concept. It really just transforms that log image, and it's a technical transform LUT into a Rec 709 kind of workspace, if you will. And then from there, I do any other corrections or anything like that. So yeah, I do use LUTs, but I don't use them as like a creative thing. I usually use them just to kind of do all the pre-work for me, if you will. I appreciate your time. I bet it is kind of fun to talk to a community. It connects all of us. Take care, man. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I appreciate you dropping by. It's super cool to hang out. I've already been doing this for 37 minutes, and y'all have spent 37 minutes with me, so that's super awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope to do this like every other week-ish, if I can do it. I love doing this. I love chatting with everybody on these live streams. Daniel Scott Design, have you done any narrative work? I have not professionally. I've done like the silly little like intro skits to some of my recent videos, but nothing to the scale of like a short film or something like that. I'd really like to. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But mostly what I've worked on have been like corporate stuff, interviews, weddings, conferences, documentary type stuff. So that kind of world, which is why I've been doing these like little intro sequences, if you will, really to kind of not even like get my feet wet into the narrative world, because there's so much more in that space that just frankly won't happen with me and Tyler making a sequence. Like, I'm never gonna be like, hey Tyler, can you 86 that light? Like, that's, it's not like super production, but I am doing it just to learn like narrative style lighting, I guess, is probably the biggest reason why I'm doing it. But that's a really long answer to tell you no, I've not done any narrative work. Clint says, dope, I appreciate the answer. Yeah, man, I hope that helps. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've made it to the end of the chat, so I've done a pretty good job keeping up with everybody. I got a question, Tyler. If you're still on, what is your favorite camera that you have shot a project on, and why? I don't have any questions coming at me, so I'm going to start asking you questions. Thomas asks, are you still in love with your pocket camera? Yeah, of course. I love that camera. It's in the other room right now. But yeah, I love this camera. It's just a beast, and there's no reason to ever get rid of it, because it's just an awesome camera. I love the fact that I have a love-hate relationship with adapters, and I've talked about this in my other live stream with having like the Metabones adapter. But I mean, it's cool to have it, but I wish it was the Pocket 6K mount, like an EF mount that is on the Pocket 6K. But it still doesn't change my mind. Yeah, I do love the Pocket 4K. It's super awesome. The image is amazing. Blackmagic RAW is incredible. I wish Canon and Panasonic and Nikon, and everybody would just take on Blackmagic RAW because it's so freaking amazing. Yeah. Cubing says, any tips for getting anamorphic look on the Blackmagic Pocket? Yeah, honestly, Cubing, I would say just get anamorphic lenses. I mean, they have the like cropped, like the 2:4:1 ratio to kind of get that look of anamorphic, but to really get the anamorphic look, use anamorphic lenses. And I think there's like a cheaper anamorphic lens out there now, like Suryu or something like that. And from what I understand, they're pretty decent lenses, and I think they have a micro four thirds mount, but I'm not totally sure on that. Griffin asks, what are your go-to lenses for the C200? My main go-to lens is the Sigma 18-35, which is what I'm using right now. It's an awesome lens. That's why. Yeah, the autofocus works great on it. A little noisy, but if I'm shooting like an interview or something like that, the mic's gonna be far enough away. So I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about. I would like to add the 50mm art to my collection, but other than that, I use this lens right here. This is the 70-200, the f4 IS lens, and then I don't know why these lenses are like randomly 35-1.4. I use this some, especially for interviews. If I'm shooting on like if there's like a second C200 or something, I'll try to use this and maybe this lens 16-35 or the 70-200 just to try to match lens characteristics a little bit more than the Sigma lens, because the Sigma lens does have its kind of own characteristics, as I'm sure you know. But if I were to just take one lens, it'd be the 18-35, because it's just a great lens. Let's see, if you only had one lens for your BMP-CC, what would it be? Same thing, 18-35. It's just an awesome, well, oh gosh. I really like the 24-105, and I left that out too, the Canon 24-105. That's tough. If I were to only have one lens, it would be the 24-105 probably, because it's more versatile than the 18-35. But I guess it depends on the project. So yeah. Clint says, majority of my work is wedding videos, so I'm focusing a lot on color now and getting as much info on it as possible. Yeah, totally. Hey, shoot me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions about that. Are you? I must have missed. Are you, Clint? Are you on? What camera are you shooting on? Are you shooting on Canon or Blackmagic or Panasonic or something else? Let me know. Daniel Scott Design says, yes, the Suryu. Okay, well, I still can't even pronounce it, and it's right in front of me. So the Suryu anamorphic is MFT only. Okay, cool. Just Googled it. They're called thing. Okay, Suryu. Cool. I'll look into them. Yeah, from what I understand, they're pretty decent lenses. Yeah, but I've never used them, and I'm not like cool enough to be sent them. So I probably won't be reviewing them, because I'm not going to be investing in micro four thirds lenses. Just the Pocket 4K is my only micro four thirds camera, and if I'm really going to do something with anamorphics, I'll probably be renting lenses anyways. So okay, Griffin says those are my go-to lenses as well. 18-35, 70-200 will cover you about 90% of what you need. Yep, I agree. Let's see, Clint on the Pocket 4K and the Sigma 18-35. Yeah, the same setup that I have. Clint on the Pocket 4K. Usually, what I do is, like, if I'm traveling, I'll probably just bring the 24-105 and maybe the 70-200, and with the Pocket 4K. And that's pretty much it, because that covers pretty much everything, and the IS and the lens is really good and all that. But if I'm doing something like weddings or like any of the like little scene recreations that I'm doing, it's all been on the 18 to 35. Just because it's an amazing lens. It's super sharp. Yeah, so 18 to 35 is a fantastic lens. Sorry, I keep looking down here. Just keep looking down at the little chat going on. Let's see, cubing. If I go with EF anamorphic, do you think my speed booster will mess with that? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I've never really done. I've never really shot anything. I've not shot anything anamorphic on the pocket camera, so I really wouldn't know the answer to that, unfortunately. Yeah. But if I was super rich, I would rent like an Atlas Orion lens and test it out for you. But here we are. I'm not rich, so let's see. Griffin, are you using the 2.8 version or the F4 version of the 7200? I've battled with getting the 2.8 version of the 7200, but this lens is what I use it for mostly. Even interviews or like travel where I'm trying to, obviously get, more compression or something like that. I've really never found the need to be at f2.8 on this lens, or f2.8, because this doesn't go on f2.8. This has never really limited me, but the f2.8 lens is just awesome because it's bigger and it looks cooler. But this thing is so much lighter and so much easier to carry around. Like I don't hesitate bringing this anywhere with me just because it is relatively small, compared to the 2.8 version. Let's see here. Have you used the Mikey lenses for the Pocket 4K? No, I've not. I know a lot of people do use them and are really happy with them. And I think they're not like a carbon copy, but I think they're pretty similar, as I understand it, to, if I'm getting the companies right, to the Vedra mini primes. I think that's what they were called, which are also great lenses as far as I know. But no, I've never used them personally. Again, I don't know if they have EF mount lenses, but I just with the equipment that I have and with the 1D coming in, like I have no need or interest in getting anything other than EF lenses for the foreseeable future until I move to an RF mount system. If I were to move, stick with Canon, which I probably will. Yeah, so no, I haven't used those, but yeah, I mean, it'd be really fun to play with them. But again, it's a cash flow thing, and I don't have the cash to just go out and either purchase them or rent them or anything like that, just to kind of test them out. Let's see, the 25 1.8 is my favorite on Micro Four Thirds. Awesome. Let's see. Griffin says the 2.8 version, Mark II. It's heavy, but I like helping this 200 sensor out as much as I can to avoid noise. That being said, for travel videos, I usually leave it at home because of the weight. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. It's funny you mentioned the noise. I shot a wedding last year. I was second shooting a wedding last year, and so the folks I was second shooting for really only cared about 1080p footage. That's all they wanted. So I brought my CFast card with me because I brought my C200. That's what they wanted me to shoot on. So I just recorded RAW and proxies at the same time, 1080p proxies. And I just handed them over the proxies because I was kind of asked them if I could do that to kind of, also play around with some of the RAW footage. And I went up to I don't think I went over 6400 ISO, but I was at 6400 ISO with the 18 to 35. I think it was 1835. Yeah, 1835. And I was really surprised at how clean the image looked at 6400 ISO. I mean, it's like I was thinking it was going to be super, crazy noisy, but it actually looked a lot better than I thought. I haven't tested it with up beyond that, just because I guess I haven't really found the need for it. But yeah, great point on the 2.8 f2.8 because yeah, if I only had an f2.8 lens, I would probably have to push it even higher than that, and I wasn't that bold to do that because I was still giving them proxies, and I know in 8-bit the 6400 looks fine. So let's see, do you have a shoulder rig for the Pocket 4K? I want one, but the handles alone from small rig costs $250. No, I don't have a shoulder rig for any of my cameras, really. I purposely did not get one for the C200 because the fan is like right by the ear, and not into that. But I usually just top handle it and kind of go that route. I may, depending on what kind of work I am getting in the future, or kind of what direction I go in the future, I may invest in an easy rig. For that, I shot a concert with an easy rig with Tyler, in fact, and I had the C700. I think it was the Super 35 one, but I had a C700 on easy rig, and we did the rehearsal, shot the rehearsal all the way through the entire event, and if I only had the shoulder rig, I would have not made it through the night because it would have been really heavy, because that C700 is not a light camera. But so no shoulder rig for me. If I go that route, I probably would go easy rig, just because you can get similar looking footage, but again, I don't know, just personal preference, I guess. Clint says, I thought about the C200, but I think I might get the Ursa Mini. Yeah, I mean, great choice. The Ursa Mini is awesome. I mean, Blackmagic RAW is crazy good. So easy to edit, and with your Pocket 4K, I mean, they'll match up perfectly. So yeah, it'd be great. But I got the C200 just because the dual pixel autofocus for interviews was pretty important to me, and I'd known people that had experience shooting on the C200, so yeah, went that route. But yeah, you can't go wrong with Ursa Mini. It's a great camera. It's really heavy. It's definitely really heavy, a lot heavier than the C200, but yeah. So yeah, folks, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. It's almost 4 o'clock East Coast time, and anybody else, hopefully you're not at work watching this, but if you are, cool, thanks. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up here. I appreciate Ursa. One more question: Ursa Mini and for Pocket 6K. Keeping honestly, there are two different cameras, and I think they fit two different needs. So it's just a matter of what's important to you, what features are important to you. Sorry, but yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up here. I got a sick dog downstairs. I need to go check on her and all that good stuff. But appreciate everybody joining. Thank you so much for chatting and all that good stuff. Griffin, Clint, Cubing, all y'all, thank you so much for hanging out. And hopefully we can do this again in the next couple weeks. See y'all. Peace.